All right, on today's episode of Python Papi, we're back inside our small contracts project. Let's have a look at what we're going to be going over today. And today we're back inside of our Web3Py favorites project setup module. Yesterday was the introduction to dive into the actual process of setting this environment up so we can get our project going. So let's dive right in. So in this section, we'll be going over the steps of setting up our project. Before we start, we will check which environment we are in by typing pwd in our WSL terminal. The next thing we will do is type the command cd ... in our WSL terminal to take us back to the root folder, regardless of where we are in our environment. We will do this so that we can start fresh as we move forward, setting up our project. Once inside this root folder, we'll run a command ls to get a list of all the files we have in this folder. Now that we are sure that we're in our root folder, we will create a new folder to work in as we move forward. The name of this folder will be Web3Py underscore favorites.cu. CU stands for cipher and updraft, and we can create it by running this command in our WSL terminal, make dir web3py underscore favorites slash cu. Now the WSL that I keep referring to is actually going to be the Linux, Windows Linux that we're actually working out of. It's just a Linux that runs on Windows systems. So that's what the WSL means. This is a Linux version for us to run right in our Windows server. And you'll see that when I move over to the file in just a second. So the next thing we would do is make sure that we created our new file, running the ls command again. Now that we are sure that we have our new file created, we will cd into it by running this command inside of our WSL terminal, cd web3py underscore favorites dash cu. Now let's go over here to our actual file here. Now I actually did all the steps already, and we already created it and cd'd into it and everything else. So I'm not going to go over that process again. But what I will do is I will ls into it to show you everything that we have inside of this folder. So you can see we run the ls command, and that'll show you everything that we have inside of this folder here, this web3py favorites -cu. You can see we have the README, which is the README here. We have our PyCache. You can see the PyCache here. We have a deploy favorites.py. You can see our deploy favorites.py. You can see our encrypt key.py. You can see our encrypt key.py. Our favorites.vy. You can see our favorites.vy here. You can see our main.py. You can see our main.py here. You can see the promise.md. You can see that's right here, promise.md. Then you can see our project TOML, which is going to be here, our project TOML. And then you can see our UV lock, which you can see here, our UV lock. Now, the ls just gives us a list of everything that is actually inside of this folder. If we were to go back to our root folder and did the ls command, it'll actually show us everything that's inside of our root folder, meaning it will show us all of our project folders that we have besides this one. But since we're inside the project folder, the ls is going to show us everything that we have inside of this project folder. So that's just showing you that we have everything already set up and ready to go for this project. As you can tell, because we already have it done, we already ran it, it's already successfully run. So I'm just going over the steps to recreate what we did. So as you can see, the ls command brings us all of the files that we have inside of our project folder, and that's how we do that. So stay tuned, because we're going to be diving deeper into this project, into the point where we actually deploy this contract and actually get it deployed on the blockchain. So stay tuned for that. But of course, I will keep you posted every step of the way. For now, this is the Python Papi. You guys stay Gucci.